Woodstock? Do you know? Almost 30 years goes, is that so? What goes through your mind when I say that life ain't so good to rest? Lonely people here everywhere. Just go on, baby, nobody cares.
This is the story of a young French woman who went to Woodstock with no ticket, no money, no credential, and all by herself. This is the story about how to get there. No, this is the story about the town of Woodstock. Well, not really. This is the story of me in the town of Woodstock celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Music and Arts Fair.
Woodstock has three things going for it. It's close to New York, and therefore it has the hipness of New York. It's got the craziness of California. And it's got a nice country-like setting, like in New England. There's always lots of music, many, many musicians. There are musicians out on the street in the summertime.
Come up and shake our hand. I'm sure we'd love to meet you. Don't throw away this chance. You only go around once, they say, and Lord, I know that's true. This is
Woodstock is not that corporate name, that thing, which is Woodstock.
Woodstock. What do you know about it?
Well, not very much, other than it's a big festival, similar to what they had 25 years ago in Orange County.
They were angry at the fact that the tickets were, how like hundreds of dollars, and that it was so commercial because the original Woodstock was supposed to be this anti-establishment thing and sort of like spur of the moment.
There was a telephone number set up, and they could do them through Ticketron by or mailing in a check in advance, and the tickets would be mailed to them.
Traffic is going to be rerouted through the area, and it's going to be redirected when the buses are going to be going north.
Well, you see that bus? I'm on it. I'm off to see my friend Gillian. Gillian is married to Larry. Larry is a friend of Hank. Hank is a friend of Gillian. Gillian is a friend of Dakota. This is the story of friends in Woodstock.
I just hear an animal out there. I'm wondering what it is. So he called me, said to tell you that there is going to be a free concert at Bethel, which is where the real concert took place 25 years ago.
Did you get tickets for the festival, the regular one?
No. I'm holding off.
Yeah?
I'm going to wait and see what happens. Also, it might rain.
Who are you?
I'm Tad Wise, Woodstock resident.
So you probably can tell me...
Why people came here to begin with?
For example?
Well, you know about Birdcliff. You know about the utopian experiment.
No, I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Well, this house is part of Birdcliff.
In 1902, utopian English philosopher Ralph Whitehead named the majestic woodland of Woodstock the Birdcliff Arts and Crafts Colony. Over the next 40 years, Woodstock artistic community became fully formed. Artists and patrons arrived to form the Colony of the Arts, and the Arts Student League made the area their summer home.
I've never been up here. I saw this. This is Ralph Whitehead, who started the colony in the turn of the century. This is his private home, which I've never seen up close.
The guy Tad was talking about.
Yes, the guy Tad was talking about.
From its humble beginning, Whitehead's vision has been realized. Woodstock in the 90s is a thriving community of world-renowned writers, musicians, craft people, and entrepreneurs.
This road here is the road that Dylan had his bad motorcycle accident on. It's called Streeble Road, and I'm not quite sure where it happened, but more interesting than that, I'm not sure if it happened. Hey, hi, this is my friend Karine. Did you ever meet Karine from Liddy Murphy's? She stayed with me for a while.
Je suis très heureux de faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
Oh, merci beaucoup. Qu'est-ce que vous faites maintenant?
Je suis chef de scène au festival.
It's supposed to go down Saturday night.
Saturday night, you heard?
Saturday night, there's a tremendous amount of people meeting in particular spots.
To push the fence down?
Crashing the fences. Oh, thousands of kids.
Kids crashing fences.
Younger people.
Yeah.
You know, just people who want to do it the same way that it was done.
Right. Okay. And Bethel's having a concert, you know.
Oh, are they doing
Yes, they're doing it. Fleetwood Mac and a whole bunch of people are just coming. They're setting up the stage today.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous.
Great, 3 people will come.
Three people.
The only 3 real ex-hippies in the world. Fake ones are all here.
I know.
Well, if the fence comes down, come and see me at the big stage, the north stage.
If you can get, you can see him at the big stage, but you can't get past it.
Yeah, right.
The north stage.
The north stage, the big stage.
Okay, where Bob is.
Where Bob is going to be. Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Bob, your friend.
And,
A friend of
Crosby, Stills and Nash.
a good friend of Hank's.
Peter Gibbs.
Oh,
We have to go.
where are you going? Where are
The
you?
word about the festival fence is that it's going to come down sooner or later. I think it's going to come down sooner.
A festival sounds like something that should be free to me.
The kids in the square told me about their tickets, and their tickets were wire cutters that said peace and love on them.
If the fence does not come down Friday, the word is that it's going to come down Saturday night. Now, I don't know if this is totally true, but that's what we're hearing in town.
People have been signing names under the name Rainbow Family, and we're just afraid that when things get weird in those camps, they're going to turn around and say, hey, the Rainbow's running them camps, man. Like, they fucked up. You know? So, anyways.
If anybody asks, I will...
Yeah, like Deadhead types, and you know who it is. Say, hey, man, the Rainbow Camp is in Bethel.
I said it's amazing because it's a little bit like the Vietnam War. Everybody has their own interpretation of their own story about what's happening here. That one person will say that the organizers are to be congratulated. The next person that comes along says that the organizers should be shot.
First visit with Gillian to Dakota Lane, Woodstock resident.
Last night he said that the fence is only in the ground a foot. And they're expecting a crowd to push the fence down because he told Larry and I, if you want to come Sunday, wait, the fence is going to go down.
And then you won't even be able to get in or out.
But what about, did you hear anything about FBI?
Yes, I heard that there were 312 FBI.
312?
Yes.
Are they plainclothes?
Yes.
Dressed like hippies?
No,
Disguised as drug addicts?
Just the usual, you know, Ray-Bans and...
The Blues Brothers outfit.
But I also heard that now if the crowd is running towards you, don't run through them as if you would want to, because then you'll be trampled. Just turn around and go with them. Go with the flow.
Oh, and become a part of the crowd.
Good morning, how are you?
What's going on? A lot of excitement for no reason, probably.
Welcome to Woodstock. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
You got your pass?
I don't know. People are all discussing how to get in with the pass, parking pass.
What about the fence?
The fence? We don't know. The fence may be up, it may be metaphorically up, it may be down. We don't know.
I want to get my pass too, so I asked Gillian to take me to the press office.
So we get there, and Karine and I have made a decision that she will pretend she can't speak English. But then I said to her, but Karine, once I speak to them on your behalf, how will I tell you what they said? So we decided to do this kind of pig Latin French. And she's videoing this entire transaction. I'm holding her passport. There's a long line of people from all over the world waiting to get their press passes. The girl finally, she just looks at me and I said, I speak a little French, she speaks a little English. I'm just trying to help her out. She goes, I completely understand. What does she need? I said, a press pass. She reaches into the bag and she gives her a press pass to get her into the festival for free, and she can go anywhere with the press pass. She's looking for you for Karine.
Pardon?
Je ne crois pas un parler en français et je comprends bien.
impressed, these things that impossible to get. See? That almost everybody got. And you see this? It's in magic marker. It's in Sharpie, you know, ink. You know?
Marqueur magique.
So anybody who wanted to get in, if it said one thing, you could always write in another. So if something said number 4, that meant you could only get onto one stage. The other stage was 6, so you would write in 6. Then somebody figured out that 10 meant you could get in anywhere. So they would write in 10. Excuse me?
Shuttles are still running. He said everybody sit tight, everything's backed up for 8 million reasons, but the shuttles are still running.
We've got to prioritize this somehow. There's a television show beginning at 11 o'clock. Stage crew, engineers, talent first. Stage crew. Cameraman, audio, stage managers, talent.
So important to be on camera at 11. My point is, why is he not down here at 8:15 when it's called?
You know, I agree with you, Sean, but what can I tell you?
I have nothing to do with the yellow buses, okay? I am just doing the pay-per-view aspect of it. The people that are providing press transportation are the number that this gentleman called out. I have no control, no monitoring. I have no way to know what they're doing.
What is your job?
I have no job here.
What are you doing?
I have come here to attend the festival.
How come you have so many informations?
Because I have been on the phone since 4 o'clock this morning trying to reach somebody at the festival who has my passes.
I live basically 5 miles away from the site. But what I had to do was drive every day to the Holiday Inn, 15 miles, where there was a bus to take us all to the site, another 15 miles.
But we can go on Sunday. Because the fog's in Allen Ginsberg. Dakota's saying, we live in such a happening time, don't we?
Festival goers are encouraged to bring the following: sleeping bags, bedrolls, small pillows, blankets, small tents, rain gear, slickers, plastic sheets, comfortable shoes and socks, clothing for changing weather conditions, non-aerosol insect repellent and sunscreen, plastic flashlights, fanny pack for wallet and valuables, personal hygiene product. Do not bring alcoholic beverages, illegal drugs, controlled substances, paraphernalia, weapons, firearms, knives, axes, hatchets, lanterns, stoves or grills, glass, metal cans or bottles, fireworks, or incendiary devices.
Here's the press tent right here.
When did you first realize that what was going on with Woodstock 94? You said to the press on the second day, it was Saturday, that it was a success. What does that mean to you?
That means everybody was having a great time, that there were tons of people, that the music was great, that nobody was endangered.
Where were you during the event?
I was everywhere. I was solving problems with the buses or with security or with traffic or with parking or with the stage and the acts and production.
Did you get some sleep during 3 days?
I slept about 2.5 hours over the weekend.
And now let me introduce you to the 3 original co-producers and co-producers of Woodstock 94.
I'd also like to pay tribute to all the various New York State authorities and the state police who have worked so closely with us and have put in countless hours to make this show proceed as safely as it has.
The fences are not down from a factual perspective. I am not denying that there are some people that are in here for free. All right. Why did security break down? I didn't say security broke down. Okay, I don't believe security did break down.
Spirits are high, everybody's helping one another. I've seen people help each other pitch tents. I've seen them share food, water, safe spaces for each other, help kids that are lost. It's remarkable. It's as if they're creating their own society. It's ethical, it's moral, and it does the right thing. That's like Woodstock 69. The new part is the music. We expected that.
Here's what you're going to miss if you don't call that number now.
you know. Almost for the East Coast, is that so? What goes through your mind when I say that life ain't so good today? Lonely people here everywhere. Just go on baby, nobody cares. And the other side, you have the fucking stars and businessmen drive fancy cars. I said Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, baby, got to move. Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. I said Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. Don't be surprised if I say I prefer to live in the past today. Dreaming about a lost generation disappeared without my participation. And I useless, what can I do? Except from talking about the Woodstock groove. Can't stop talking, it makes no sense. Have to continue, but not end friends. I say Woodstock, a Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. I say Woodstock, a Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. I say Woodstock, a Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. I say Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. We got to move, move out, baby. Move, move, move.
South Africa.
Plenty of weed around out there.
I will be doing something I've always wanted to do, and that is singing Janis Joplin.
How about the Black Crows myself?
I'm going to do a whole 4 songs.
Where are you going from here? Drums with us. So this was all unrehearsed, and we really tore this shit up.
It's the opportunity. I think I've made my own mark, and now I can take the ballot and pay tribute to a woman who was here 25 years ago.
To where?
On the same day and almost the same time, too. It's very exciting.
Are you planning to have some in Mexico? Okay.
Now we're a little bit, less stressed out. And I don't look at this as anything else other than an open mic, an opportunity to speak and not be voiceless anymore, basically. And so poetry, I think, is back, and poetry has meaning. If you don't use rhyme, it's like a carpenter not using a fucking hammer.
Michael Jackson would be my bus driver, him mimicking James Brown while we cruised across 110th Street. Back in the city, all the water fountains would pump Kool-Aid for blacks and whites to share. Michael Jackson would sell his mama's pearls to buy Diana Ross a ship and a bottle with the loot. And while the last poets made 125th Street their last stop, me and Nicky Giovanni would go all the way up to Tremont Avenue where Billie Holiday was buried. And if you listen close, you hear her singing, ain't nobody's business if I do. The Statue of Liberty would proudly display her dreadlocks while waving peace to the huddled masses as they departed from the land of liberty. The Empire State Building would be capped with a great black fist. Isaac Hayes would proudly display his afro. Janis Joplin would sell purple daisies to nudists at Woodstock. And Roberta Flack, that sister, would give me life with her song. Thank you.
Your ambulance is coming through.
My name is Jeff Hartman. I'm working security.
Let's go. Let's go. We'll go get Gary.
Are you volunteer?
No, we get paid for this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you been here now? Since
I've been here since, what day? Tuesday. Tuesday, 8:30 in the morning. And I've had about 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah? How many hours a day do you work?
Too many. About 12 to 15 usually.
How many people are you all together?
Our crew is 62.
Yeah, 62.
62 for concert service.
What is the job exactly? What is this?
We sit around backstage and make sure nobody bothers anybody. Basically, we're getting paid to hang out and watch a concert.
Bodyguard to the stars.
I'm one of the mounted officers for people and traffic control. And I'm riding Sherman the Wonder Mule. the only mounted police trained mule in the nation.
No, we haven't at all, but you guys come on by, 2 o'clock, Runaway Circus. It's a really great, amazing...
You number to call, right? You got a pencil?
No, I
Get
don't. a
pencil, I'll give you our base. So you
Here. You have a pencil on you? I got a card.
our number on. I'll say your number.
Woodstock, do you know? Almost Furioscos, is that so? What goes through your mind when I say that life ain't so good to live? Lonely people here everywhere. Just go on, baby, nobody cares. At the other side, you have the fucking stars and businessmen drive fancy cars. I said, Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, baby, got to move. Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. I said, Woodstock, Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move.
And here I am again. What was your name again?
Karine.
Karine, my wife Lana. I knew I'd find you. It's great.
I remember you from this morning when we got stuck at the hotel.
Yes, did I help you out?
No?
I don't believe that.
What is your job?
I handle the transportation aspect of the pay-per-view.
Every day before the show actually went on the air, people would do a pre-show on a free channel and say, call now, you've only got 20 minutes left. If you call right now, there's still time to buy it. This is what we're going to see today. We're going to see Bob Dylan today. We're going to see the band today. We're going to see Melissa Etheridge today. And many, many more. And this is only the first day. We have 2 more days to go. Two more days to go. Two, count them. 1, 2 days to go.
Woodstock groove. Please stop talking, we got to move. 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 Check this out.
What's the meaning for groove?
In what context?
Any context. If there is several meanings, can you tell them?
Give me a sentence where you would use the word groove.
I'm not using the word groove. I think some young kids in France do because of rap music now.
The groove is the beat. The groove is what the drum plays and the bass plays, and it's the rhythmic pattern of a song.
Does that mean that any music would have something to do with groove?
No, it doesn't. Groove music is basically rhythm and blues. It is where there is a very strong and offensive and captivating rhythm or beat. It is when you find yourself going along with the bass or with the drum. It is used in terms of just defining something that is good or enjoyable. Something that is groove is something that is nice to be doing.
This is total discrimination, corrupt, corporate, greedy, totem pole attitudes. Here we are, beautiful French and German press being forced to stand in the rain while their American counterparts lavish in the corporate mills. I say we stormed the press tent.
How come you're here at the right time? How come you're here at the right time?
The right time, I just lucky.
Are you ignored that question, and it is one of the things that
I got stuck outside with all the international press people.
It's all part of Woodstock. If you're not sort of wet and soggy, then you're not really experiencing.
It seems.
Drugs destroying society. Disrupt my sobriety. They're breaking my spine now. They're blowing my mind now. Drugs make me think a lot about blowing my mind now. I took the doobie this morning. I poked a fat fucking tuber at lunch. I flamed the stogie for dinner.
a good person that cares about other people that's constantly watching after them.
Have you been watching that guy?
Oh yeah.
Having fun?
Quite a show.
Tell me about that guy behind me. Are you watching him?
Yes.
What do you think he's under what? I mean,
What do I think about? I think he's on acid. LSD. The blue acid.
I can't tell you what to do with my love. I can't tell you where to go for my love. I've got an idea and I just want to share it. I've got an idea and you just gotta bear it.
They hadn't counted on the fact that there'd be 400,000 people down there. It was impossible to get any kind of vehicle in there to pump out the waste from the day, the human waste from the day before. You can imagine what those toilets in a box were like. You really have to take a shit when you take a shit in a porta-sand. And I used them, I gotta say. It was like this, you would go like this. Then you'd go inside and hope that you could be as quick as possible. Of course, you know, situations like that are also bonding experiences. There's something really nice about it when you're all stuck together and you know it's not forever. You know, you're not going to get really battle weary like you would like you would have in the Pacific during the Second World War. But when you're there and together, it forms a bond between all the people who are suffering, and you know, it becomes humorous.
Hi, I'm Tim at Family Woodstock, and we have a worker bee here from Family Woodstock. And her name is Joan. Joan, can you tell us a little bit about Family Woodstock?
Sure, it's an organization that is attempting to make sure that everything here at the festival goes smoothly. It's based on helping other people, and most of us are volunteers.
And how did it originate, the whole idea of Family of Woodstock?
I don't remember that, do you?
Did it come out of the first Woodstock? I believe it did, about 25 years ago, didn't it, Joan?
Yes, it did. That's absolutely right. Just refresh my memory. It did.
And it was perhaps also many of the people that went to the first Woodstock stayed here, and so we needed places for them to stay, and that's why it originated, Family of Woodstock.
And what about that big gathering of hippies? It was the point also, no? In '69.
To have a big gathering of hippies?
Yeah.
In what way? Like a big convention of hippies?
Yeah.
Nah. No. It was an accident.
No?
It was an accident.
Yeah.
Nobody expected it to be like that. Nobody expected it. I mean, hippies. I mean, the whole idea of hippies, I don't know anybody from that era who referred to themselves as, personally, as hippies. Hippies was a word in the newspapers. I never said, hey, I'm a hippie, are you a hippie? Hey, hi, I'm a hippie, I want you to meet my friend, he's a hippie. Never used that word. If anything, we called ourselves freaks.
Which means?
Hippies. Which means hippies.
I remember when the word freak started being used. Just the same time that the word grass, or was it pot? The word grass started being used instead of pot. And basically, it's the exact same thing.
But it was not the newspaper term. The hippies, freaks, anybody with long hair who smoked pot and gave the peace sign. We wanted peace because there was war. And the idea was very much love thy neighbor. And there was that. You really felt that. There was sharing, and there was a sense in that time of love for everybody else and acceptance. So James, what did you think of the Woodstock Festival?
That smells good. It smells very good.
It smells very strong.
Very strong.
Breathe deeply.
Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Roll another one, just like the other one. You've been holding on to it, and I sure would like it. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. And roll another one, just like the other one. It is getting near the end, so come on and be a real friend.
You're going back to the hotel.
Back to the hotel.
Why?
Because I am too old to camp out in the mud. 25 years ago, perhaps.
What about the fans?
Good morning. Well, I drove by with my VIP pass, which was forged at the Woodstock Times. Dakota gave it to me. And there is huge holes in the fence. And where the tents are on Sled Hill, there's this big hill that we call Sled Hill, the Saugerties version, all the fence is down. And then there are other sections where the fence is down.
Probably the Woodstock tent that you bought.
Okay, I'm not going to be in this. Okay, oops, there's magic. Good, good. I wanted to ask you, when did all this start? I mean, when did it really start?
A lot of the work that was done, unfortunately, was done in the 11th hour because of the anticipation of the numbers were not really available for everyone. In other words, the medical staff was supposed to be 1,500 people, which grew ultimately to over 2,000 medical staff. And the people at the Benedictine Hospital did a really great job. They put together a fantastic crew. They worked around the clock, handling fractures, handling overdoses, handling cuts. Unfortunately,
that's us!
We're just doing an interview and we're going to be gone in a second.
Oh God, we're standing right here, we're shooting you.
I won't ticket the other one.
Okay, great.
It's only $10. How much is it? $10.
Oh, that's okay. He just made a lot of money. He can afford it.
$10.
I left Philadelphia and came here and lived here full time for 2 years in the early 80s. Which was a very exciting time here. Interesting time. And then just this last year, then I moved to New York full time pretty much and only came up here on the weekends. And then now I decided to move up full time.
What did you teach?
I taught history of film and history of popular culture.
Samuels is a friend of mine who also works with a company called NHK, the Japanese broadcast company.
Corporate. They built a city in a month. The physical presence of that space was huge trailers, enormous generator trucks, satellite beam uplinks. Woodstock 1, nobody was there to even record it. There weren't any until it started to become such an enormous thing. The newspapers didn't even cover it initially. Here, 3,000 press. 1 billion people watching it live around the world.
Wow. Were they really?
Yeah. 43 countries.
That's amazing.
But what it is, I think, is the difference between in the 60s, it was a counterculture, it was a statement. Here, it's media culture. That's what it is. We are products of media culture. We are media culture. We either look or we act. As, you know, we are either on the stage or watch it. A lot of people forget that what Woodstock was the counterculture. And the counterculture in the 60s was an ideological culture. It was a rejection of practically everything that existed in the traditional culture. And Woodstock became the symbol of that. In terms of music, so different. The 60s music, who are the people you relate to in terms of Woodstock? Country Joe, you know, saying F-U-C-K, you know, statements, you know, Richie Havens, who hasn't done anything, but basically at that time came up with this notion of freedom because he had nothing else to sing at that time. It wasn't a prepared set, he just ran out of songs, so he just kept, you know, that's what he did. And he went on the stage because, not because he was cued on at the right time, but because he had only a guitar himself, and it was easy. You didn't have to set the stage up. You just go on. You had Janis Joplin. You had Jimi Hendrix. And they were all connected musically with a style, with an attitude, with a philosophy. What do you have here? One of every little group. You have a rap group. You have a heavy metal group. You have a nostalgic group. You have a reggae group. The music had no relationship to anything. And in fact, it was so symbolic. The bands would come in by helicopter, stay for their set, go back, leave by helicopter. Woodstock Bench's insurance cost equaled all that they spent on the concert last time, and that the cost for one act was equivalent to what they paid all the acts last time. I mean, you know, that's a different world we live in. And if you were going to have a thing like this take place, you had to do it this way. They were smart. They were, you know, if they did it the other way, they would have had a Bethel, which was what, 10,000 people showing up, you know, kissing the ground because they think that's a hologram. I mean, it's kind of stupid too. It had nothing to do with the ground. That was what people didn't understand. It had nothing to do with the place. It had to do with what the spirit is. You know, George Bernard Shaw says, you know, definition of an insane asylum is an empty room with the right kind of people. You know, so it doesn't matter. You know, the space doesn't matter in that sense.
Something about anyone else in the universe.
Can you get my backpack? It's in the car.
Dear. Oh, don't unlock it. Karine's backpack, I already locked it.
Hey!
How is it back there?
Peace, sister. Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was raining all day?
No. Rained all last night, though.
Yeah, a lot of mudsliding still?
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. So we are on the right way, right?
Yes, but you have to cross over a creek over here, and it's very hazardous. Be careful. Especially with that camera. A girl went in with her camera yesterday crossing this. No joke.
Whoops. Yeah, that piece of wood is good.
I was following Gillian and Larry to go to the Dylan's concert. I didn't know I was going to meet someone. The Woodstock Nation, 300,000 people.
God, you! Karine! Again! I can't get away from you! Everywhere I turn!
This is too much, I can't believe it. I mean, this is such a big place, and right here you...
It's fate.
Where are you going right now? Where are you going right now?
I was looking for you all day.
No.
At the press and the VIP and the bandstand. And I finally gave up, and there you are.
What kind of people were allowed to go backstage and on stage?
Usually press people, producers. Well, you weren't. If you had found your way there, and you had found me, I would have gotten you on stage. The road managers. Then there were the production stage managers, the guys who set up all the bands. The crews that set up the bands, set up the music, audio.
For each band it's a different crew?
Yeah. They have their own.
That makes a lot of people.
Yes. Then we had our permanent people who would actually do the lifting and the moving. So they were there. We had about 100 to 200 people. We had 200 people backstage. at any one time working. The stage was constructed on a turntable that revolved 360 degrees. So while one group was playing, we were setting up the other group.
We didn't see that.
No, it was well hidden. It was very nicely done. And that's what kept it flowing. Not only that, but there were two stages. There was the north stage, there was the south stage.
Hey, howdy there, Ace. How's it going? Ken was backstage with us.
You were backstage on Friday?
Yeah.
How come?
Oh, Paul got me a pass. I was taking pictures for him. I was up there flying over before the festival started and got some pictures. And then, of course, we went to it Friday. And then Monday, after the festival was over, Paul and I went up and we took some pictures of the aftermath of the concert, which was quite interesting.
A little bit of garbage.
It looked like a war zone. Yeah. So.
In fact, they had a peace sign made out of garbage.
That's right. Just like the original Woodstock. They had the garbage bags all
Was it an actual peace sign?
Formed in a peace sign, yeah.
Check this out.
She said, "Oh, Mom, why don't they come over to our country?" And she felt very emotional. And then she just decided to do it. She called Peter Gabriel, Aerosmith, Michael Lang, the producer.
We're asking people to light these candles during the Peter Gabriel concert.
And they're going to do it. We sold for like $1, $2 each. We took donations, made a lot of money. Now we're just giving out for free. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Because you have been really, really helpful for me. Can you tell me what have you been doing here?
Well, basically been taking care of the press, making sure the wrong people are not coming in, only the right people, only the people that belong here in the press.
You must be very tired.
Very tired.
For how long have you been working here now?
Since Friday at 9 a.m.
Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Come back in 25 more years.
There were so many ways that could have been a disaster. There's so, I mean, you talked about the injuries, but, you know, basically mild injuries.
Yeah.
There were no riots, there were no deaths, nobody, was no Altamont.
No. But, because, you know why I feel that? Because the people who came here were not angry.
Right.
There were very few blacks, very few inner city, you know, minorities, ethnics. It was people who were escaping boredom. It was kind of relieving boredom to come. And also listen to groups. You know, it was a great package. You know, a lot of bands, and great situation, and all that. But they didn't bring anger here. They didn't bring the conflict here, which is the same way that in the 60s they didn't bring anger and conflict there. They brought peace and harmony and love. But here.
Where are we going right now?
Today, aujourd'hui, we are going to visit a company that packages all the Woodstock memorabilia, jackets, posters, t-shirts.
The story is still going on.
The story continues, yes. All TV Music Marketing Network. Right here. Let's go on. HIV. I'm living on the shore in Maryland. I gotta turn on the lights. Sure. This is great. Basically, this is basic. We get the real tour, Karine. And Karine and I met because I was supposed to. Lon and I went to the Stones concert Friday night at the Meadowlands. We get up to Kingston, we checked in a hotel early Saturday morning, and I was supposed to meet the gentleman who was going to have my passes way over to the Holiday Inn in Kingston, and getting on the press bus to get into the festival, and ultimately to get passes. I do collect a lot of memorabilia, a lot of early Beatles.
Oh, you like Beatles?
I met with the
I can't
people
give you
at
yours, but
Hard
you
Rock.
gotta see.
Have you been there?
No, I didn't go. I just sell the stuff.
Oh no.
Frisbees.
Frisbee.
It's a marketing world.
Yeah,
it's tremendous.
See what else we got here.
So how do you sell them? Only by mail?
Only by mail, yeah.
And do you know the people who order them? Do you know about what age they have?
Yeah, we do a lot of research on them. Yeah, we find out who they are, and we do reporting on them and create a profile on the buyer and who they are and what they want and why they're buying it, where we can reach them a little bit better.
I went back 2 weeks afterwards. They would not let you in the site.
No.
Because of the cleanup process. They completed it last week to the tune of $1 million.
No kidding.
The estimates originally were for between 100 and 200,000. It ended up costing $1 million.
That's because everything was
But they say it's in better shape than before. They reseeded because Lang apparently still wants it to have an arts festival there on a permanent arts center.
Yeah.
To be held on the site. And of course the city is still against them turning it into
something permanent.
The dump. They were trying to turn it into a dump at one point.
Oh, were they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Filmmaker, Oscar winner Barbara Coppold trained her lens on all aspects of the festival. I went to visit her in the same home I remembered from the time I was a Frenchie babysitter in New York City.
So your film is really talking about the people who have been working on the festival also, right?
It's everything. It's I hate to use the expression Generation X. It's the issues of today. It's how things have changed over the past 25 years from the first concert. It's, the original promoters and their story. It's a lot of material.
Did you work as an independent filmmaker?
Not really. We had funding for a certain part of it, and then probably around May there was no more funding, and so then I worked like you. I had to beg all my friends to work on it. I had to use my own money for film, and so I did like you did. And I'm right around the corner from you. She's filming me now, so I thought it would be fun to bring her to the belly of the beast. So that's okay. We can film you, and we can film Lee when she comes. All right, so we're going to come over very shortly. Thanks. Bye. You got it.
Who's Lee?
Her name is Lee Bloomer, and she was Michael Lang's assistant during the first Woodstock, and is still Michael Lang's assistant 25 years later for the second Woodstock. And you are going to go over to Woodstock Ventures.
Do you get letters from people writing to you about the event?
Yes.
Yeah?
We get happy letters and we get nasty letters. I mean, there were some people who felt that this was their, once again, as it happened in '69, the life-changing moment, the sort of catharsis of what they had been missing in their lives. And they had Woodstock, and then they gave up all their earthly possessions and are going off to find the truth and whatever. And then there are some people, I would say that it was probably 5% of the people were unhappy. The funniest one we have is a guy who's suing us for $35,000 because we made him go to the bathroom in public because he wouldn't go in the porta potties. And we made him suffer incredible embarrassment and personal whatever. I mean, humiliation. $35,000 worth of humiliation. You can measure it today because it's a different world. I like that one. I mean, that's actually my favorite one. But, and then there were people who complained that, some people got in for free, how come we had to pay? And, there were a lot of sort of catchy people, but for the most part, I think everybody who was there, for them it was a celebration.
Did you hear a lot of rumors during the event?
I did keep on hearing about the dead bodies that they found in the mosh pit, or the arm. That was my favorite thing. They found an arm in the mosh pit. At one point I heard that they found 8 people dead. And I called the state police at that point to find out what, and it was a rumor.
As I was leaving, there, on the elevator, was Woodstock personified Michael Lang. What has he been doing for 25 years?
With a very wide range of artists, from blues artists to Billy Joel. Then I started a management company. I managed Joe Cocker for a number of years. I managed for Keely Jones for a period of time, Willie DeVille.
What are the social and political influences on Woodstock 94?
Well, I mean, you can ask yourself that question. I mean, what's going on in the world today that needs attention? It's obvious that there are still wars, there are still ecological questions which we have to answer if we're going to survive on the planet.
It turned out for the best, because if I had met Wayne early that morning, I would not have found myself at the Holiday Inn with all the press people. I would not have met you. And all the good things that happened by chance.
Thank you, everybody. I had the best time. See you in 25 more years.